military operations in the Gaza Strip. Now, here in Africa, the three junta-ruled countries in the Sahel region are planning to join forces to create a 5,000-strong unit to fight the jihadist violence that has for years plagued the nations. But this is according to officials of the three countries. Niger's Minister of Defense says within weeks, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali will create a unified force. The three nations are former French colonies where the military deposed civilian administrations between 2020 and 2023. Following the coups, the three countries distanced themselves from France and last year formed a confederation, the Alliance of Sahel States. Now, for more on these troops alliance by the Sahel nations, joining me is Senior Coordinator, African Students for Liberty. He joins us from Nairobi in Kenya. He's Charles Nyakumbo. Good to have you join us at this time. First, what is your take about, this alliance of Sahel states in the first place and the 5,000 military unified force they are coming together with?
Thank you for having me. My take is that this is a step towards the right direction. This is the time when Africa must now come up with their own homegrown solutions to solve their problems. The war in the Sahel region is not a new thing. France has tried, but now we cannot use the same tactics, right, that has failed over the years to get a different result. So when these three countries come together with their own troops, in my view, I believe they have more advantage and they are better off to fight this war and bring back peace and unity in the regions without France support. So that's my view.
All right, but what is the potential implication of this on the rest of the Sahel region?
One of the things that we must look at is that there will be increased autonomy, and in this case, with the troops now fighting, locally without coordination of the foreign forces, decision making is going to be a bit easier. So this autonomy is going to be one of the biggest success, right, towards the fight that is going on in the Sahel region, fighting the jihadists. Then, of course, the local support. From where I see it, with the three countries, regionally cooperating to fight a common enemy, there will be more enhanced local support compared to the previous way in which now France was involved. Remember, this is the former colonizer. It's so difficult for the locals to trust that a former colonizer is now again helping fight their own war to help them gain peace. So I believe that there will be enhanced local support with just now the locals, the locals now having their own homegrown solutions to bring peace and unity. And of course, the last item is on the regional cooperation. The troops from those three countries, they have better understanding of their own territory. They have better understanding of their own countries.
I hear you.
They know their regions and all that. Yes.
I hear you, Mr. Nyakumbo. Okay, but if you consider that some of the locals actually would rather have a democratic government than an authoritarian military rule, what do you think would be their reaction and response to, the move by their leaders?
Well, we must first of all look at why they got to a point of having military rule, right? It's mostly due to the failure of the democratic elected leaders to bring the change that they admire or desire. And this is across African region. In most African countries, democracy has failed, and the electorates and the people are aware of this. So if the military rule can bring a change compared to a democratic rule, then in as much as it might be stringent and all that, there will be more support to that. Compare regions in Africa where we have democratic rules like South Sudan, like Sudan countries and all that. We have democracy, yes, but all still right. There is a war and we're not happy. So in my view, I think there will be more support, even with the military rule, because right. the enemy of the fighting is still one on the jihadists. All
right, but with this move, does it appear that these three countries might consider rejoining ECOWAS? You have about 15 seconds to respond to that.
Yes, their success of course, will even be emulated by the ECOWAS. It is our prayers in Africa that since one of the biggest goal of the Africa Agenda 2063 is that they need to be silencing the gun, which was in 2020, if this move is a success, then it's going to awaken the whole African state, and we will realize that now most Africans will now be able to, come up with their own ways to fight their own battles without foreign support. So that will be a plus to them.
Senior Coordinator, African Students for Liberty, Charles Nyakumbo, thank you very much for joining us on World Now. Staying with Africa-related matters, human rights organizations and opposition lawmakers in Italy are angry over Wednesday's release of a Libyan warlord due to an alleged legal technicality. This decision came after he was detained under an international criminal court warrant that accused him of war crimes and crimes against humanity linked to actions at the Mitiga prison in Libya since 2011, offenses that could lead to life imprisonment. Italy's Minister of Justice, Carlo Nordio, is facing tough questions regarding the release of Osama Anigem, also known as Osama al-Masri, who leads the Tripoli branch of the Reform and Rehabilitation Institution, a notorious network of detention centers operated by the government-supported Special Defense Force. Al-Masri was apprehended on Sunday in Turin, where he had attended a Juventus-Milan soccer match the previous evening. On Tuesday, Rome's Court of Appeals ordered his release, citing a procedural mistake in his arrest, and he was flown back to Libya on a plane operated by the Italian Secret Services.